guys, my name's Maddie and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to y'all about my near-death experience. About a month ago, I got my tonsils removed because they were like super duper swollen for about 6 months, and they said that there was no other option for them to go down unless I got them removed. So we got them removed and the procedure went well, everything was good. And then about a week later, I started coughing up blood. And I was like, oh, that's no big deal. Like, my scabs are coming off. Everything will be okay. It doesn't matter. So I just took the rest of the day normally, how I would do. Went and got some Starbucks. Everything was fine. Later that night, I went to bed. And it was about around 2:30 in the morning. And I started tasting blood in my mouth again. So I was like, you know, it's probably nothing, it's probably okay. So I just drank a sip of water and I went back to sleep. About 10 minutes later, I woke up and I still had the taste of blood, and I was like, all right, so maybe I should go check on it. So I went into the bathroom, and when I went into the bathroom to open up my mouth to look at my throat, I started throwing up blood everywhere, and I was really concerned. I didn't know what to do. At this time, I was in my dorm, and so I was away from my parents and everything, so I was freaking out more. But I got a towel and like wiped my mouth, and I went and woke up my roommate, and I asked her, I was like, we got to go to the hospital, like take me to the hospital now. So I put on a sweatshirt and I grabbed like this Dunkin' cup, like those reusable cups, like about this big. I grabbed one of those and we got my keys and we went to the car. So we were driving to the hospital, which it's good because the hospital was like 2 minutes away from campus. So we got to the hospital. We parked in a parking lot because we couldn't find like where the ER was. So we parked in the parking lot and we started walking to see if we could find the ER. And I told her I started feeling really dizzy and lightheaded and I didn't feel good at all. So she was like, okay, let's get back in the car and let's try and drive to the ER. So we went back to the car and we drove like where the front of the ER is. So I saw like the emergency room sign, so we parked and we walked in, and as we were walking in, I was starting to faint, and so I started like falling over, and luckily my roommate was there because she caught me and she picked me up, and we walked all the rest of the way into the ER. When I got there, they just immediately knew something bad was obviously going wrong because that Dunkin' cup that I brought with me, it was full of blood, and that was only about a third of what I lost. So they took me back on like a bed, and then they pushed me into one of the rooms, and they started putting IVs, fluids, everything in me. So they were putting IVs in both my arms, and this one she got in fine. This one she couldn't get in, and at that point, she said, because all my blood was coming out, that like my veins weren't really like good to obviously be putting IVs in, but they had to. So at that point, I told the doctor who was in there, I was like, I don't feel good, like I really do not feel good. And he was like, it's okay, we're gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine. And my nurse was still trying to put the IV in my arm, and then all of a sudden I could not hear anything. They started talking to me, but I couldn't hear anything, and I like fell over onto the nurse. So she obviously missed the IV in my arm. Eventually she got it at a different spot, but I fell over onto her, and then I like leaned back on my bed, and my roommate was standing in the room, so they let her stay there since my parents weren't there, and she was on speakerphone with my parents, and everyone started yelling, Maddie, Maddie, wake up, and then a bunch of nurses came in, and they were saying that I was unresponsive and everything. So at that point, my roommate said my eyes rolled back into the back of my head. And obviously I didn't know what was going on, but all I remember seeing when I went unconscious was that I saw like a body being operated on, and for me, I'm pretty sure it was my body. That's what I got the feeling of in the hospital room. And then I saw this big white light, like when I mean big, bright white. It was really big and bright. And then I heard talking, and I, like, obviously my unconscious brain, I was looking around, like, wondering what was going on, and I heard talking, and it was 3 angels. And they were telling me that everything was going to be okay. And I was like, but I want to stay here. Like, I wanted to stay in heaven. And for me, you wouldn't think you would want to die and stay, but you do. Like, you feel so free. I felt so free. Like, everything was gone. All the pain was gone. I was not nervous at all. All I wanted to do was stay there. And I was like, please, just let me stay there. Let me stay there. And they're like, no, you're not done yet. You're not finished. And I was like, what do you mean? I want to stay. Like, I feel so good. They were like, no, you have to go back. And who I was talking to, you see like a big light, like a person with a big light. It's not like angel wings that you appear like you would see in like a picture, but you get this feeling of who the person was. And there was 3 of them. The first one was my great-grandmother. She passed away when I was about 10. So that was pretty amazing. It was really amazing to get to talk to her. And then the second one was, I got the feeling that it was my dad's father who passed away about a year or 2 ago. So it was really good to see all of them. And then the third one, did not know who it was. I didn't get like a feeling of anybody who is really specially connected to me. So I'm really interested when I actually do die to see who that was there, the third angel that was talking to me. But when I saw them and they were telling me that, it was just so reassuring, and it was just the most incredible experience I've ever been in my whole entire life. And so once that happened, I woke back up, and I had all the a bunch of nurses around me, and I had no clue what was going on. And I saw blood just around me because they couldn't get the IV in. And I just remember waking up with a ginormous oxygen mask on, and they're like, okay, she's responsive. And they were talking to my mom on the phone, and my roommate, I look over and she's crying, and I was so confused. I had no clue what was going on. And I told her everything once the doctors left. I was like, I saw heaven. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And it truly was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the crazy part about it is I had been praying that I wanted to help people on their journey with Christ, in their life with Christ and everything. And I've been helping a lot of people, but I needed a story to tell that people would really understand, and I could really talk to personally, my personal story. And then all of a sudden this happened. It's crazy how God works in all these magical ways, and we don't even know what his plans are for us, but they always end up turning out for the best. And now I want to share this story with everyone so that they can experience Christ and they can start walking with Christ as well. And I would love to talk to anyone about their journey with Christ, and if they want to grow closer with Christ or wants to ask me more questions about my near-death experience, I would love to talk to y'all. My Instagram is maddie.smith21, and y'all can send me a DM, or if you have my number or anything, I would love to talk and catch up with y'all about that, because it was truly a great experience. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please like and subscribe. Thank you.